Hi folks, Kevin here. Well, last weekend Thea and I went ahead and transplanted the leeks and the red onions, these first two rows. And today I just want to share with you how we ended up preparing for the leek and the red onion transplants, primarily the leek plants. So the leeks and red onions, we started in the work area on March 9th, 2017. And we transplanted them, I think it was on May 29th. Today's June 3rd. And I got the idea from watching one of the videos by Jean-Martin Fortier, the market gardener. And in one of the videos I saw, and I think it was on Living Web Farm, he realized that he could really get the most edible part, increase the white part, the most desirable part of leeks. And he learned this the hard way, and he has a nice little story about it. And ultimately, that white part, in order to get it long enough, he ended up making a dibble, I think about 9 inches deep into the soil. And then he decided to make 3 rows per 30-inch bed, and that's what this one is. And he has the specs in the video that on Living Web Farms. Also, it's on the Vermont Organic Association as well. I can't remember the term for it. But the information's available from the market gardener and in his book. So the dibbler, which creates the pocket which the leeks are started in. So on March 9th, we started our leek seeds, not in a great big single flat with multiple seeds in one big cell in a sense, but we decided to use 72 cell flats. And those 72 cell flats allowed us to not disrupt the roots on the leek plants. And I started 12 of those flats of the red onions and the leeks. And we had pretty good germination. I'd say in total about 50 or 60, probably 60 to 70% on the leeks, and about 45 to 55% on the red onions. So I want to stop now. I'm going to show you the dibbler, and then you'll see some video that I shot at the time when Thea and I were transplanting these, and go on from there. Hold on just a moment. When I went to dig out the dibbler, and this is our dibbler, it's a 3-hole dibble at a time. These pieces here are 1-inch electrical conduit. You could use just regular PVC conduit from the hardware store. These are 1-inch caps that go on the end. The conduit is cut at 11 inches, and the caps are 1 inch. So when the conduit is placed inside of this retaining board, which is a true 1x4, we lose 1 inch. So the dibble length that we're able to penetrate when this board hits the surface of the bed is 10 inches. I'll improve upon this in the future, but this is the second run of it. And the first one I used parts of a handle just like this. This is just a broomstick handle. It's a little wobbly, so it's not a good support for the dibbler. Ultimately, I'll probably make it out of 1-inch square stock metal tubing, and have these actually come to a little bit more of a point instead of being rather bulbous at the very tip. There's more resistance. But if the bed is prepped properly and you've used a good broad fork to loosen the soil, this does go down into the soil quite nicely. And that leaves a good 1-inch diameter hole separated. These are 9 inches apart, and creating holes in a 30-inch bed. This board happens to be 32 inches. So we create 3 holes at one time by pressing this into the bed that are 9 inches apart, and then you just space it down. I don't have a separate spacer that should come out here and show where the last dibble hole was. But these pieces of conduit are just held in place by a screw, basically a 3-inch coated screw going through the 1x4 and into the hole here. The holes were 1-inch hole, and And this I'd use again, I think I would want to reinforce the handle and make it a Y so that I've got a triangular support here as well. Well, about 16 inches. Some of these are about 16 inches tall. That one's about 15 inches tall. $19 tall. 17 inches tall. 18 inches tall. So all of these are easily over a foot tall, which I think is going to be ideal. I think this is going to work out, planting these leeks seeds in these 72 cell flats. That way we can just take the plugs out instead of the big, what we used to do is put them in a big pan, put all the seeds in there and then tease them out bit by bit. There'd be root disruption. It took them a little bit longer time to set once we put them in the holes. And here we've got holes that are probably 10 inches deep. And as they get watered over time, they'll gradually fill back in. And these seed plugs, which are, geez, probably almost 2 inches deep, but they'll get broken down to about half the depth. You can see there's roots coming out of some of them. But I think this will be less disruptive than the way we did it before. We'll see how this works. I think it's going to work well, and we've got 12 flats of 72 apiece. So we'll be able to have some leeks planted in other locations to let go for seed in the future as well. So I hope this demonstration and working through this process, seeing how we planted the leek seeds or the leek transplants is somewhat beneficial. There are a couple of ways that I'm going to tweak it in the future with making some changes to the dibbler, and certainly using the different 72 cell flats like I've done with some of the other beds you've seen in our other videos that I've posted. So if this was useful at all, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and please feel free to leave a comment or a question. Thanks so much for watching, folks. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye now.